Alright, next thing I'm going to show you is how to swap out the power steering pump. We've shown already previous videos how to take it off of the mounting bracket, so ours is free. Clamp, you squeeze it together, slide it back. You can release it or it locks. Pull this off, lift it up so the fluid doesn't, whatever fluid's in here you don't want to spill. Get you a little bucket, something. Then on the bottom of it, right there, that line nut, that is a 5/8 with a line wrench. Line wrench is a little bit different than a open end wrench. See how it goes around like that? That is so it can fit around the line and then get more contact on the nut so that you don't slit or anything like that. It sits right on it and takes it off. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, we're going to go ahead and install the transaxle lines before we do the radiator or anything else. Because once the radiator gets in there, I won't have room to really press this on. When I pulled these hoses off, the original ones, the air conditioning coil is still in there, and I bumped it one time and I was like, oh heck, and I looked. Luckily I didn't damage the little fins or veins, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to go ahead and install them. Where did I have the... Yeah, the long one. Let me make sure. Yeah. The long hose goes on the bottom male section, and the short one goes on top. And of course, I cleaned off my hose clamps with parts cleaner, so now I can actually see them. They're silver. So I'm going to install these onto the transmission and then set them aside, and then when I get the radiator in, I can plug them up and have it good to go. I cleaned off the casing, went ahead, put that on. You can press it, it fattens up, and then you can slide it down kind of like a snake that's been eaten. There we go, like that. And we're going to go ahead and put those on. It just uses a little flathead screwdriver with the clamps that they have on there. They're actually hose clamps. And after that, we'll hit the power steering pump. Okay, here's the power steering pump. It's got the pulley and the reservoir on it. Here's the new one. Now, they charge you, it depends where you are, $90, $100 plus $30, $40 core charge. It don't even come with everything. So there's some work you have to do. In the box, they have the O-rings you're going to need. In changing all this, I believe one of them goes when you take the reservoir off and it seats, you use a seal. And then I believe when your pressure line goes in on the bottom, you'll use one for that. Now let's... So here's what you get. See, it looks just like that. Then we're going to have to put the reservoir on. We've got the tool from O'Reilly so that we can pull the pulley off and then put it back on. One tool does that. You don't want to bang on this and hammer on it and, squeeze it in a vise and stuff too much. You can mess it up. And then it comes with a sheet. We're going to do some of this stuff. Talks about bleeding out your old one, or the lines and the liquid out of your old system. I'm going to have to look in the book to see how to do that. It says if you don't do that, it could cause problems, wear down your new pump, and have premature failure. We don't want that. That's what happened to this one. I'm not sure exactly why. To take the reservoir off, on the back pulley, you turn it around. These two bolts They are not half inch, sorry. They are 12 millimeter. You'll take those two out. This will come off. I'll show you what it looks like. And then there's two Torx bolts behind here. So I'll take this off and show you what it looks like. Alright, we've got the bolts out. Put our new one here. Ah, look at that. I just noticed. Oh, man. They have a red cap. It's got a nut and you're supposed to take it off. This one was damaged. I hope to God there are no bits and pieces inside there. Doesn't look, it looks like it goes down to a small orifice in there. It would have to be a very, very small piece of plastic to get in there. Man. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, alright, so I took the bolts out. Let's see how to get this off. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. There is a third bolt right here. So I have to take the pulley off first so I can get to that bolt to take the reservoir off. So next step, we're going to use the puller and take the pulley off. Seems a little extreme for a power steering pump, but I guess they know best. Alright, so here's the pulley puller installer kit. Your pulley has a lip right here. These pieces have lips in them that slide under that lip. Then you have this piece, has a rounded nub, which they have a place set for that. Fits right in there, doesn't damage the threads or anything. And what you do, let me back that out some. Put that in there with one of them on. We're putting the large lip. It has a small lip and a large lip. We're putting the large lip under the lip of the pulley. Okay. Then you have this ring that slides over the two halves. I think this tool they have is very new because everything on here is very snug. Okay. Just slides right down on there. Now, what I'll do, it's got the lipped area here has a hex on it. Let's see what size that is. Probably gonna be 15 or 16, maybe larger. Let's try 17. Really? Daggum. Okay, so we're going standard. 13/16 right here. And it's probably going to be standard, maybe a 9/16 or 5/8. Yes. So, I'm going to hold the bottom piece with my 13/16. I'm going to take my 5/8 and I'm going to start turning it. It'd be nice to have this in a vise, but I don't want to damage it. Let me pull my, there we go, a little closer together. Turn it like this. Heard it snap coming off. Let me put some safety glasses on. I hate to make a live video of me losing an eyeball. That would suck. There we go. Guess unless you're into those kind of videos. Okay. Okay. Alright, we'll continue doing this till it pops off, and I'll show you the rest of the procedure for taking off that the reservoir. Alright, that popped off. Now we'll just take this, I think this is some kind of composite or something. It doesn't seem like metal. Take your screwdriver, don't pry on it, just put it on there and turn, and the width of your screwdriver will lift this up. And you can get that off of there, no problem. Then we'll do the rest of our reservoir. We took these two out, which were 12 millimeter. And let's see if this is the same size. No, okay, what's this? 1/2 inch. Alright. This is one of those rare parts, I guess, that uses standard and metric. You don't see that much anymore. You used to see it a lot more. Alright, we'll take this out. Let's check our reservoirs here. So of course it does not come with the bolt. And the 2 bolts are part of the construction. I really don't like that I'm having to disassemble what they put together to put the reservoir. Should have separate holes. I don't know why it doesn't. Yeah, that's a bad idea. That just gives you an opportunity to create a leak. So keep this one. Alright, let's see how this... Okay, the reservoir attaches inside this. This is a plug. This will come out, so I want to be careful not to do like this or anything. If I have an extension like this sticking in there, even just a little bit, I don't want to crack or break that. Wow, that come out real easy. Okay. And of course, I see the O-ring down in there. And then we'll use a Torx. I'll tell you what size. I'll get them out of the toolbox and I'll tell you what size Torx these are. And then we'll do the reverse and we'll put it back together. These are T30, maybe 30H Torx. That's the designation on this one. There's 3 of them. Come off pretty easy. We'll see what's under here. If we have another seal. And of course I'm going to spray all this and this off with parts cleaner, so when I put it on everything will look good, and if I do develop some type of leak or something else leaks, I'll be able to see where the heck it's at. And I'm not fighting all the crud to see what's going on. Just like that. Then we'll take this reservoir, like I said, we'll clean up, make sure we don't get nothing inside there, and we will reverse procedure, put it onto the new pump. Alright, in the bag, there's one bag has 2 O-rings in it. The small one, we're going to put, see how it's in steps, and put it on here. This will mount just like on the old one. Where the hell's the, oh, there it is, like that. We'll push it in, seat it, and then we'll put our 2 Torx and our 1/2 inch bolt in, and that'll be done. Alright, as I'm putting the Torx screws in, I've got the blue Loctite. It's the 248. This is in the like lipstick case. You can twist the bottom and come up. What I do is I just scrape the threads across like that, make sure it gets embedded on the threads. I don't like doing it this way. It seems to just roll around. This way I get some. See? The blue lets everything stay good and snug, and it's able to be you're able to turn and adjust. The red is kind of like a permanent. I think it takes like 500 degrees to break that stuff free, so I don't use that unless I'm making something and it's not supposed to come apart. There we go. Now, of course, I'll tighten that down. Good Lord, those bolts were hard to get out. I did not clamp this up, but I did close my vise up so that as I was turning and stuff, it would catch against something, you know, just the frame. I wasn't squeezing, just pressing a little bit, holding, so I could, you know, break those free. They're awful tight. If you don't have a vise, you're going to have somebody with some grip to hold that thing and go the opposite way with you, you know. That's tight. Good gracious. Alright, so we're going to get our bracket on. Of course, we're going to take those bolts out so that this fits. What'd you guys say? Carefully here. Just like that. Nice and snug. Fits right in. I'm going to put the other mounting bolts. Alright, to install the pulley, here's the kit. That's what we use to take it off. I'm going to take these pieces here. Check to make sure that's the thread. That's the one that goes in there. It goes in freely, no problem. You want to put this through this, the bolt through the mounting piece. Alright. There we go. Set that on your shaft. Don't press it, tap it, nothing like that. It'll take care of itself here. Oh, wrong one. I've given myself some room. I want to get these threads in here as deep as I can. Of course, as you're doing this, this is going to spin down. Anybody's messing nuts and bolts enough knows that's going to do it. Alright, so there it is. Alright, now, I'm going to work this down here. What this does, the bolt is in the threads. That lines it up. You slowly turn this. The flat surface makes contact with the face of the pulley. The good thing about this setup is, as you go down, this pulley needs to be flush with the top of the shaft. So this makes sure that that happens. It's flat on the bottom here. We'll grab here. Let's see what size we're dealing with. Of course, your puller may be different. Not 5/8. Is it the stuff I just put up? Yeah, 11/16 and 9/16. So let's see. We will want to, if we turn this way, so we want to turn still clockwise like tightening. Now this puts contact across the face of the pulley evenly. If you tried to tap it on there, first of all, there's bearings and stuff down in here. You don't want to bang on that and dislodge something, damage something. You know, then you just got to go pick up another one, and none of us want to repeat buy parts. Wait, what do we say we're doing? We're going here this way? Yes. Okay. Just like this. Keep doing this till it comes to a stop. You know, we should be flush with the face of our shaft there, and that will be the transfer of the reservoir and pulley from the old pump onto the new pump. And then we'll check the book, see about flushing, getting all the old junk out because I want to do it right. It's $100 if I don't. You know, I don't. I've already spent enough. I don't want to spend another 100 if I don't have to. That right there is our pressure line for the power steering. Where is it? There. Come on, get down there. A little O-ring right there. It's in a bag by itself. It tells you this goes on to the pressure line. It's right there. Right on that lip. You just pop the old one off, clean it, put the new one on, and then I'm going to attach that line to the bottom of the power steering pump before I put it on, because once you get it in, once you install the power steering right here, it is a very, very tight down there to try to do it from bottom and not lose the O-ring and this and that. So I'm not gonna give myself headaches. I'm just gonna put it on before. It's got enough flexibility that thing will twist and it won't be a problem. Okay, now we got the bolts in through the face of the pulley like they came out. 13 millimeter. They go to 250 inch-pounds or 28 newton meters.